everyone, it's Tani Games here. Welcome back to the channel. We're back with a bunch of Infinity Nikki news. I'm very excited to get into this. I know I'm a bit slow to it. A lot of people have talked about it already. So I do apologise that I wasn't as quick on the buzzer with this. But obviously there's been a lot happening recently. It's been a bit of an emotional few days. So I am a little bit behind. So I do apologise. But I still want to talk about it. Because this is still a channel where you can get all the Infinity Nikki news, all the Infinity Nikki information, and updates that you could possibly need. So yeah, let's just get into it. Okay, so I'm over here on the Infinity Nikki website. So we have this news article, which basically is the optimization preview. And it says here, Photography Revolution Dying Feature Preview. So there's going to be a lot of cool information here. It says it's glam time anytime. I love that, but yeah, let's break down some of this information here. And we're going to start off talking a bit about the storyline optimization. But let's just read through it and I'll kind of comment on it as we go. Infinity Nikki Optimization Preview. Photography Revolution Dying Feature Preview. As the seasons change and life blooms anew, we're saying goodbye to the grand fireworks season, which I'm so sad about, and the Pingtan performances of the New Bloom Festival. A new version is on the horizon and we want to take a moment to share some of the exciting optimizations we've been working on, based on your valuable feedback. Our goal is to enhance your experience and bring you even more joy in Mirrorland. Storyline optimization. We've heard your feedback about the story experience and we're taking it to heart. Nikki, as the heart of Infinity Nikki and the entire Nikki series, is deeply cherished by our development team. To us, she's more than a character, she's a friend, family, and a living presence in our world. In the game, alongside the main storyline, we've crafted a wealth of world quests and exclusive quests. These aren't just isolated fragments, but interconnected stories tied together by Nikki's journey. Each tale reflects her growth, and we hope they help you connect with Mirrorland and experience its richness and diversity. After reviewing your feedback, we recognise room for improvement in pacing and plot design. Moving forward, we'll focus on refining the flow of storytelling and enhancing the narrative experience. Thank you for your valuable input. We remain committed to delivering higher quality stories for you to enjoy. Okay, this is interesting. I've got to admit, I've had no problems with the storyline, but that is just my own personal experience, and I am one player in hundreds of thousands of yeah, I'm just a small fish in the ocean, so to speak. So I haven't found this an issue, but it is interesting they're doing this. Now, I don't know if any of you have heard, but basically the intro for the game has changed. The intro that I played through is slightly different now. They have changed it a bit. So it looks like they've been kind of slowly working on this. It seems like they've done a couple of tweaks here or there without putting out a kind of statement about it because of that intro changing. So I'm intrigued to see what this will result in terms of storyline. I am intrigued to see what the changes could be. But if it makes other people happy, I am all for it. I am very much all for it. Our next section is Rules of Mira Crown. We've also noted your feedback on Mira Crown. Fairness and transparency are the cornerstones of our game design, and we're dedicated to ensuring justice in all activities and gameplay. We assure you there are no hidden changes in Mira Crown's calculation rules. Each Mira Crown phase features unique themes, and different themes come with varying label requirements. Rest assured, we won't simply increase numerical values or label restrictions. Instead, we'll strive to meet the diverse needs of all stylists in future updates. We're grateful for your enthusiasm and participation in Mira Crown. Your feedback is invaluable and we'll continue listening to your voices to optimize the gameplay experience. Now, there is a bit of a further note on the Stardust Flare, so I wonder if it's tied to that, but also the fact that in this recent update, in order to fully pass the Mira Crown, you needed to have pulled on a particular dress in this current banner. That's the only way to do it. So I wonder if it's to do with that. Now, I must admit, I'm not an expert in gacha games. This is like my first gacha game. I have played a bit of Genshin Impact, but not too much. So this was my first real kind of dive into gacha games. And I must admit, at first I thought it kind of seemed a bit unfair. And I do sort of stand by that a little bit. I do feel as the game progresses, it's going to be a lot easier in some ways to do Mira Crown, because the amount of outfits we have is going to increase. So our flexibility to kind of complete Mira Crown with different outfits is going to be easier. Like, I feel like the early game, it's kind of hard because there's only so many outfits anyway. But I was a bit concerned that it was kind of like saying, you know, you're only ever going to complete Mira Crown by pulling on the current banner, and I don't think that should be the case. I would like it to get to the point that, you know, it doesn't kind of matter which banner you've pulled on, so long as you've pulled on a banner, you should be able to get... Does that make sense? That probably doesn't quite make sense, but, like, if I've spent a lot of money getting a few different outfits of different types, you know, whether that's sexy, elegant, and stuff like that, like, I feel like there should be a way for me to achieve it. I haven't finished every Mira Crown. At the end of the day, I guess it never bothered me too much to complete it. I always wanted to, but I always kind of felt like, especially my first few experiences of the Mira Crown, I think I was kind of like, well, I'm new to the game. This will get easier as it goes on. So I just hope that is the case, and it's not that every Mira Crown we get, you have to have pulled on that banner at the time, otherwise there's no way to succeed, kind of thing. Yeah, I think it's just getting that balance right of the more you play the game, the easier it's going to be for you as a player, because you're going to have a wider variety of outfits, whether you're sort of free to play or not, kind of thing. You're going to have a selection. It could be just an... I don't know. But it seems like there was quite a bit of a controversy around it. Some people not happy about it and whatnot. Yeah, like I said, I'm not fully familiar with gacha games. It seems like this might be a bit of a thing, kind of thing, that the idea is that the more you've invested in the game, the easier these kind of battles are, in a sense. Like, the more you've invested, the more outfits you have, so therefore the more easier ways you have at beating the Mira Crown, kind of thing. Yeah, I don't know. I think there's a balancing act. There is a balancing act. And we'll just have to see how they deal with it going forward. Yeah, I'm intrigued to see how it works going forward. And like I said, I've never been mad that I haven't ever finished a Mira Crown, kind of thing. But yeah, we'll just have to see how it goes. We'll see how the changes are, and things like that. So yeah. Now, the next aspect of this sort of is the label design of Stardust Flare. So they've put, "We sincerely apologise for the confusion surrounding the label changes after evolving the Stardust Flare outfit. We failed to clearly explain this during the promotion and display process, leading to misunderstandings. This was our oversight. After the update, we noticed extensive discussions on this issue and realised the unconventional design caused inconvenience. Moving forward, we'll be more mindful in our design process to avoid similar problems. Additionally, we'll ensure clearer communication and promotion to help stylists better understand every detail in the game. Next, we will also bring you some new gameplay features and content optimizations." So in regards to Stardust Flare, there was a bit of a confusion because if you had the evolved versions, they had like different tags or something. So I honestly didn't know, but I never evolved the outfit. So, and I must admit, there's probably not anything that I actually pay much attention to. Whether that's a positive or a negative, I'm not sure, but it's definitely something that I kind of hadn't realised, but I'm sure there's lots of players that kind of focus on all these details that do evolve, and to them, I guess this kind of stuff is very, very important. So let's talk about the new gameplay features and content optimizations. So we have continuous optimizations of basic experience. In the upcoming update, monster material tracking will be added, enabling you to locate monsters based on the materials you need, excluding greedy pouch. I like that. I think that's great. I think it's fantastic. We'll be able to track those monsters down. Additionally, PC custom key bindings will be further optimized, now supporting custom settings for whimsical controls and fish and reel buttons to enhance your gameplay experience. Again, fantastic news. I haven't ever changed my PC key bindings, but I do believe that will be helpful for some players. And then more custom looks for greater freedom. We're excited to introduce more custom looks. As your wardrobe grows, you'll unlock additional slots for your custom outfits. With clothing sets reaching certain numbers, new custom looks will be unlocked, up to 7 custom looks in total. So from the looks of things, they say as your wardrobe grows. So it seems like depending on how many items you have, depends on how many custom looks you get. So it does seem like you'll need to make sure you're crafting your sketches and stuff like that in order to make the most of this custom look setting. I'm not entirely sure what the requirements will be for each new custom look that we can unlock. I don't know if they'll be tied to specific categories, like for instance, to unlock custom look 4 you need 100 hairstyles or 10 dresses. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know exactly how it's gonna reach, but it'll be interesting to see. It's a difficult one for me because I rarely use the custom looks. I rarely do. When I log on in the sort of morning to the game, if I want to change up my look, I just change it up. I just change it up as I go. I've never felt the need to go back to a previous outfit because I can just make it from scratch again. But but there is a but here. I imagine the more items you have, if there's a favorite outfit of yours, custom looks will be very useful, because then you don't have to scroll through every individual piece to find what you need. So definitely sort of, if you've got a lot of items, if you've been playing quite a while, this will definitely, I think, come in handy. There are people that do use these custom looks regularly. I've seen people say that they have outfits for exploring, they have, you know, outfits for different areas, like they have like a Stoneville outfit or things like that. So I do think that's very, very cute, and certainly just because I don't use a feature to its fullest doesn't mean other people don't. And I know this has been a big issue in the community. So I think it's fantastic. I think it's a great addition. And then we have a bit of information on the compendium revamp. So they're working on enhancing the compendium system for a more comprehensive experience. In the upcoming version, we'll introduce the lore compendium, with plans to expand the system further by adding collection progress displays and expanding categories like plants, animals, and fish. So I did have a feeling, like looking at this, like we saw this coming soon. I'm guessing that's to do with kind of like the animals and stuff, the plants, animals, and the fish. So that will be our compendium on that. The lore compendium, I think, is really good because it's going to be tied to things like the books that you read throughout the world. I have read through some of those, and I have been watching Kadia's, I don't know how you say her name, Kadia. I apologize to that creator for not knowing how you say your name. But she's been doing a lot of lore videos, which I've been finding really interesting, actually. I don't know a lot of knowledge about Nikki herself, so I've been really enjoying watching her videos to know more about the lore, and it's certainly something that I would love to dive into a bit more and become a bit more knowledgeable in. For those that know me for my Disney content know how much I love theory and speculation, and I would love to kind of be able to do some kind of theory and speculation on Nikki, but truthfully, my knowledge needs to improve before I can do that. And I think having something like the law compendium would be very, very helpful. And also for finding out if you're missing any books that you haven't read. Because I'm sure there's books that I have missed, and so it would be nice to make sure I have found those and read those. So yeah, I think this is all fantastic news. I also like this change. I also think visually this is such a beautiful setup for a menu. I've got to give them credit. The kind of like, would you call it a UI? I don't know, but like all these kind of menus that they have are really, really nice. I do love them, and I like the styling of them. So yeah, I gotta give them credit. It's very aesthetic. Oh yeah, and we have an image here of the books here, so you can see books 1 out of 137, and you can see sort of the different things that they're tied to. There's a lock symbol if you haven't read it, so again, kind of very helpful in that regard. And now we get on to some of the very, very juicy topics, the topics that I'm very obsessed for. Firstly, the optimization of photography. Photography is a core feature of Infinity Nikki, and we're thrilled by the creative work shared on social media. To enhance your experience, we're upgrading Momo's camera. Yes! New features, vertical photo mode. I'm so excited for this. I'm obsessed with my vertical photos. As soon as I found out that was a thing, I have so many of them. So many. And I'm so excited for that. We also have video recording, which I think will be really good. On my TikTok and on my Instagram, feel free to follow those if you want. I do post a lot of Infinity Nikki photos over there. So yeah, make sure to follow my other socials. The links are in the description. But I've done a couple of videos just kind of like of my Nikki in like a cute outfit with a cute bit of background music and stuff like that I've added on afterwards, and I would love to do more of those, and sometimes it's a bit of a pain to do. I mean, I do it using my OBS. I just record the footage that I've got on my screen, but like sometimes working out the angles for like the optimum, like kind of like mobile view and things like that can be a bit of a stress. So to have an actual video recording that I could then edit without having to film from my OBS would be really nice, I think, personally. So that is something that I am very, very excited for as a content creator, and anyone who's obsessed with making content on Infinity Nikki, even if you're just like someone on Twitter who posts videos and stuff like that and photos, like not necessarily making YouTube videos, but just the photography side of things. I think that's going to be so helpful. And then we're also getting photo presets. This will be nice. There are so many times that I have changed the lighting and stuff based on where I'm taking a photo. 'Cause sometimes you want bright photos, sometimes you want darker and moodier photos, and to switch between the two stresses me out, I'm not gonna lie, because then you're like, oh wait, did I need to have turned my saturation up or down? Do I need to have turned my brightness or my shadows or highlights? And sometimes you're back working through it all and it's just a bit annoying. So I think it would be nice to have like a couple of photo presets, so you can have like a daytime preset. Perhaps you could have like a darker, moodier nighttime kind of preset. I think that would be so fun. We are also getting pose enhancements, so we should be able to take photos while riding, changing outfits during shoots, and enjoy a progress bar for outfit moves. Now this is really good. The taking photos while riding I think could be quite cute, although not something I've ever considered doing, but I think that could be cute. The changing outfits during shoots is going to be so helpful. Sometimes I've been taking a photo and I'm like, do you know what, actually I would prefer this hair, or oh my god, if I had this, and then you got to back out of the photo mode, and then you got to hope you can reposition your character to exactly the same pose they were in. If we could just like change outfits kind of in the photo mode without having to go in and out and stuff like that, would be really helpful. And the progress bar for outfit moves for me is really good, because I've been taking a lot of images where I try and do that for some of the different kind of outfits that you have. So the firework dress that you can get, there is like a bar that you can move and you can stop it, but there isn't one for the like Arosa one. There isn't one for Nikki's birthday celebration outfit. You literally have to just time your clicks right in order to get photos during those moments, whereas with the fireworks dress, you can actually drag and drop, not drag and drop, but you can like pull the bar along, which is really helpful. Visual upgrades hide interactive elements like blings and dews of inspiration. Again, I think that's an absolute bonus. That's going to be fantastic. More poses. So we get duo poses. Now, I am curious. I'm going to assume this means with other Nikkis. So you could place half of a duo pose out in the world. And if someone interacted with your hourglass, they could do the opposite duo pose, I would think. I assume it's going to be more like that rather than a pose with Momo. I think that's how I interpret this. There's going to be whim cycle moves. Now that has me more excited for the photos whilst riding. And the beloved luminous bloom prop move from the new Bloom Festival. That confused me. Okay, I assume it's to do with the luminous bloom prop item. You can use that somehow in the photography mode, I would think. These optimizations will be rolled out gradually. Now, this is important to note because obviously this stuff isn't necessarily going to be immediate, but we will slowly get that. And then we have information on the dyeing feature. So early access via event. The highly anticipated dyeing feature, which many stylists have been eagerly waiting for, is now in the final stages of development and testing. With this new feature, stylists will have the ability to fully customize pieces by adjusting patterns, colors, and special effects. You'll even be able to save, import, and share your creations. We've divided each piece into multiple areas to provide more flexibility, allowing dozens of customable areas per piece. However, due to the complexity of color and pattern variations across different materials, we're still working through some of the development challenges and ask for your continued patience. In the upcoming version, we're introducing a fun mini-game focused on dyeing through a special event, giving everyone a sneak peek of the feature ahead of its official launch. But here's a twist. This time it won't be clothing that you'll be dyeing. What exactly you'll be dyeing is a mystery, so stay tuned for future previews. As the fireworks season comes to a close, new adventures are on the horizon. In the next version, stylists will also have the chance to participate in surveys and share feedback. It's your collective contributions that have made the fireworks season light up, and we look forward to continuing this journey with you, creating a more beautiful Mirrorland together. Thank you for being with us on this journey. May the light of the fireworks guide us towards a brighter future. Okay, so briefly before I wrap up the video, I do want to touch on this dyeing feature. My guess would be that we're going to be dyeing some sort of furniture item, some kind of decor item or something. I'm not sure if it's a decor item we would keep or something. Like, they say it's a mini game, so I wouldn't be surprised if it's someone who turns up and has a bunch of challenges for us to create certain dyed furniture, just because they say it's not going to be clothing. So my thoughts are, what's not clothing? Well, furniture kind of thing. And we do know that eventually we are going to have houses and decor and stuff in Infinity Nikki. So my logical conclusion would be it's to do with furniture that we're dyeing. I am very curious about this. From what I understand, one of the other games, I think it was Shining Nikki, had a dyeing system. I'm very curious how the dyeing feature is going to work, because there must be some limitations to it, because otherwise it just completely makes outfit evolutions redundant, because for a large portion of the outfit evolutions, they are just color changes. I know the final evolution is usually got like some special feature or some unique design, but generally, like, the stages in between when you're pulling on these outfits is it's just a color change. Well, if you can replicate that same color change through dyeing, why would you do that instead of pulling? Like, why would you pull on the banner and not dye? Like, surely you would dye. So I wonder if there are going to be limitations. I wonder if it's going to be limitations either by the pieces that you can dye, um or if it's going to be limitations in the colors you can have. I'm not entirely sure. They're definitely going to have to implement something, because as I said, it will just render anyone who wants to pull multiple times on an outfit, it just kind of makes it pointless. That's how I see it. Let me know your thoughts, but I just feel like there must be something within the dyeing feature, if it is eventually going to come to clothing. There must be some limitations, I would think. Because otherwise I feel like there's a lot of players who perhaps might on occasion pull a bit more in a banner, but don't maybe go all the way, but maybe they pull for the second evolution or something like that. Those people, why would they ever do that? Why would they do that? I kind of think there must be a limitation. So I'm optimistic about this. I'm excited for it, but I am curious as to what the limitations could be with this, or what the requirements to this would be. I think it's important that we are aware of that, because I would think there is going to be some limitation or some kind of price for this, but I don't know what. I don't know to what extent or anything like that. I'm excited for it, but I'm really curious to learn a bit more about how it's going to function, because yeah, as I said, it kind of renders multiple pulls on the same outfit pointless, because you would just dye it. Let's face it, you would. Why would you pull? Like, it just, yeah, in my head, that's how I see it. So I am curious to see. Let me know your thoughts on this. Let me know perhaps your predictions on how it would work. If you are familiar with the other Nikki games, I would absolutely love your perspective on it. Because it's not something I'm knowledgeable in. As I said earlier, this is something that I would love to be more knowledgeable in, Infinity Nikki, because I do love this game, and it's something that I'm happy to dedicate time to research and find out a bit more on. But obviously I don't have that first-hand experience and knowledge. So I'm curious. I am really curious how this dyeing feature is going to work when it does come, which will be further down the line, because they have asked for our patience. We're only going to get the little mini game. But when the eventual final creation of the dyeing feature comes to the game, I'm very, very curious about it. But yeah, let me know your predictions and your thoughts in the comments down below. But yeah, I think that's it for this video. That's most of the news to catch you up on. Let me know your thoughts on this news. What are you most excited for? I think there's lots of good stuff coming. I'm excited to see what the new banners are going to be and everything like that. Like, there's so much that I'm anticipating. I really love Infinity Nikki. I love the fact that there's continuous additions to this game. It never feels like a dull moment in Infinity Nikki, which I think is just fun. I think it's just wonderful. So yeah, let me know your thoughts on these changes. What are you most anticipating? And don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more Infinity Nikki content. I will see you all in the next one. Bye guys!